Hi guys, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for Monday the 6th of December going through until Sunday the 12th of December 2021. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm going to give you a rundown of what the planets are doing this week and what energy they bring up amongst themselves and how that's going to influence you down here on planet Earth and how you can make the most of the energy. So I'm going to go through each day to see what's going on. These weekly horoscopes are for all signs of the zodiac. They're for everyone who watches. I look at the core energy of the planets and what they create amongst themselves, and that is going to influence everybody, often in different ways. But the core energy is the same, and that's why I think it's interesting to look at it and to try and understand it so that it can be navigated more easily. And what I picked up this week is that at the beginning of the week, you may have a major tendency to get stuck in your own feelings. And that tendency gets stronger as the week goes on, and it lifts finally on Sunday, the 12th of December. So that means two things. One, you're able to access your kind of emotional body very easily, like what Eckhart Tolle would call the pain body. And you're able to do a lot of research and to understand certain things about yourself that are no longer appropriate or that you no longer want to engage with. And you're able to put those to bed and leave them behind. The thing about that, though, is most people, most of us, we don't really like looking within and asking ourselves tough questions and saying, okay, why do I do this and how can I change it? So if you have the willingness to do that inner work, it's an amazing opportunity. On the flip side of that, because you have so much access to your own kind of emotions, you may need to exercise some sort of management strategy about your own feelings because you can get stuck in them and little things can be blown out of proportion, and it can really hold you back from making progress in other areas of your life. So looking at your own feelings and kind of trying to stay on top of those, I think that's a key thing to remember here this week, and particularly not to make any major life-changing decisions based on some sort of knee-jerk emotional reaction. I think that's an important thing to avoid. So try and have a quiet week in terms of your practical circumstances. And if there is an opportunity to change, or if you decide to change something because you feel it very strongly in that moment and it's just a whim, that's the red flag I would say to look out for the most. Okay, so let's see what's going on each day. Monday, the 6th of December, we've got the moon in Capricorn, and that forms a conjunction with Venus and Pluto in Capricorn. So we've got loads of Earth here at the beginning of the week. The moon in Capricorn is very serious. It urges you to work and to work hard and to set goals and to pursue those and to be relentless in your levels of productivity and to just get on with it. And it pushes, pushes, pushes. It's ruled by Saturn, the planet of the rules. So that makes you very productive and very work oriented. Venus is the planet of love and beauty and creativity. Pluto is change. So this work can be channeled into something creative or into adapting your existing circumstances. And here now is where we get the emotional stuff coming in. The Capricorn moon also sextiles Mars in Scorpio. So that link, first of all, may give you this desire to work on your own feelings. Mars is the red planet of desire and drive. It's relentless. It pushes, it's ambitious, it wants to get somewhere. And in Scorpio, it's able to unearth all these hidden feelings. And it's the deepest and darkest stuff that needs to be transformed. It's interesting, this morning I saw something on television. I saw a guy with a lantern, and it was a really high-tech kind of piece of equipment. And he put the lantern on, and it was like this little sun in there. It was like this yellow ball. And just looking at that, I found so delightful. It's this idea that light can really take away dark things. It's that whole process that of alchemy, of changing one thing into another. And that's what you're able to look at, the things that you want to transform within yourself. So the Capricorn moon then also trines Uranus and Taurus. So you're willing to go with the flow and to adapt to change. It sextiles Neptune and Pisces, so your imagination is huge. You can see what you would like to happen or what the future could be like. Mars in Scorpio also sextiles Pluto in Capricorn, and Pluto is the phoenix rising from the ashes. Capricorn is work and your career and your security. So with this connection now, here we start getting this sense that I feel something, therefore I want to throw my whole life up in the air and change it. So on Monday, the 6th of December, you're able to work very, very well and easily. You can adapt quickly to changes and find it very easy to be creative. On the downside, you may get stuck in your emotions and can't see past them, and that then can suck up a lot of your time. And what you can even take that to the next level and look for problems where there aren't any in order to account for this general sense of being ill at ease or anxious. So it's kind of trying to find someone to blame or something to blame. And again, that's where the discipline as such comes in. Focus on things you enjoy and be creative and all of that stuff. If you find yourself nitpicking or looking for problems, then just back off from it and say, not today. On Tuesday, the 7th of December, we've got the moon going into Aquarius at 12:49 in the afternoon. So the moon in Aquarius now, it goes from Capricorn to Aquarius, from earth to air, and it's much more about new ideas and coming up with original content and thinking outside of the box. It's not only interested in making money and meeting your obligations. The Aquarius moon then conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. Okay, so you're very on board with the rules and with regulations and what ought to be. And you want to fit in, and anything about you that's different or unique is going to be a no-no, and you don't want to announce that today, you just want to blend in. It squares Uranus and Taurus, and it sextiles Chiron in Aries. Okay, unfortunately, the best way to navigate this isn't to fit in and to be overly rigid, but to continue thinking for yourself and what you're coming up with. So it's about listening to your own voice rather than the loud, many voices of other people. And for most of us, that's very challenging. It's much easier to listen to a board of directors than it is to sit alone for 10 minutes and to say, okay, what is it that I really need? And then to honor that message. But here on this day, it's very important that you do that. Mars in Scorpio squares Jupiter in Aquarius, so these big feelings are still there. And now they're kind of clashing against the status quo, against society. My feelings against everyone else. Ugh, heightens the anxiety level. Mercury in Sagittarius squares Neptune in Pisces. So this allows you to really gallop off into the higher realms and to discover whatever it is you want. So you have total spiritual access. Think of like Hermes, Mercury, the messenger god, kind of now galloping off into the higher realms of the ascended masters and the angels and the universe, and going back and forth with real messages that you can use. So on Tuesday the 7th, you may have an idea, or you may come up with an invention or a script that you want to present to a greater audience. So if you get the idea of, I need to write to Penguin Publishers, then please honor that. Make a mental note of what you come up with, especially if you're interested in starting your own business. You may also connect with a friend or meet someone who seems to immediately and utterly, completely understand you, and you feel totally at ease. So pay attention to that kind of thing. That's an important person in your life. And also if there's someone who someone you don't know very well, but you want to get to know them better, it's a fabulous day to kind of strengthen that kind of relationship by having an open and honest discussion. And if you do open up to someone else, you may get some amazing insights in return. On Wednesday, the 8th of December, we've got the Aquarius moon now squaring Uranus in Taurus. Uranus in Taurus. Okay, so the Aquarius moon, all of these ideas, and you're thinking about what the future could look like. You know, what I want discovered is Tesla's spiritual net. I want that. I want someone to find that, because there is a spiritual net that connects all of us. And Tesla talked about it, but I don't know. I don't see it being used in any kind of, yeah. If you're interested in that, look into it. But basically, and I'm not an expert, but there's something that connects all of us on a spiritual level, and we all exist in this same kind of reality. And if we were able to tap into that, the way we tap into electricity to light things up at night, if we tapped into that, then, I just think that it would be amazing. Yes. But why am I bringing that up? So new ideas and new inventions, they're very much supported here. Yeah, sorry, I've lost my thread here. On Wednesday the 8th, the Aquarius moon squares Uranus in Taurus, and it sextiles Mercury and the Sun in Sagittarius. Yeah, so you're thinking big, okay? You're able to disrupt things as they are by adding something new. And Mercury and the Sun in Sagittarius make you incredibly adventurous and willing to look at new ideas and to come up with new content. Mars in Scorpio squares Jupiter in Aquarius, so on an ongoing basis, the thing to look out for, the thing that will prevent your progress in brainstorming and getting all these ideas together, are feelings that you can't control. So avoid petty squabbles, little arguments, rising to the bait. Any of that is just a waste of your time. On Wednesday, the 8th, you're able to problem solve exceptionally well. You're optimistic, you take things in your stride, and you can really enjoy yourself on Wednesday, the 8th of December. With Jupiter expanding this endlessly, there may be a tendency to go overboard. So if you change the way you feel through shopping or gambling or substance use, be very, very careful about that today, because there's this extreme thing in the air, and if something feels uncomfortable, there's a tendency to react way over the top in terms of what you do about it. So I feel a bit bad, and instead of just getting over it and getting on with something else, the idea is, okay, well, I need to take 5 Valium. Way over the top, overkill, avoid that kind of stuff, not good. On Thursday, the 9th of December, we've still got the moon in Aquarius. So we've got it in Aquarius from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So those are the ideas days. Those are the days when you can really create something new, to invent something of your own. And on Thursday, the Aquarius moon conjuncts Jupiter in Aquarius. Jupiter, the biggest planet, expansive growth, good luck, good fortune. It puts a magnifying lens on everything. So this is really an ideas day. So if you are a scientist or inventor or educator or something, look at what you can come up with. You'll be very, very thrilled with how inspired you are. And it squares Mars in Scorpio. So it puts Mars in Scorpio in its place a little bit. The bulk, the size of Jupiter kind of outdoes Mars, and he kind of retreats a little bit, which is very unlike Mars in Scorpio. And that in itself could, again, put you a little bit on edge because you feel cornered. The moon goes into Pisces at 3:53 in the afternoon. So now we're moving out of this period and into Pisces, which is water, spirituality, love, relationships. So that shifts. On Thursday the 9th, for the majority of the day, you enter your own little dream world of inspiration and ideas. And you can truly come up with something great. If you've had writer's block or if you felt uninspired, you're going to be super inspired on Thursday. So daily obligations may fall by the wayside because you're no longer interested. You're interested in your ideas. So really prioritize what needs doing. Any emotional upset or difficulty will seem monumental, and you may want to escape. And that's not a good idea. Instead, speaking to someone, and by escape, I mean the things that I mentioned on the day before, shopping and gambling and etc. But instead, speaking to someone about how you feel, or meditating or exercising, that's going to shift difficult feelings on Thursday, and that'll put you back on track to inspire and to be inspired and have eureka light bulb moments go off. On Friday, the 10th of December, we have the moon in Pisces now. So the moon in Pisces connects you with the higher realms in terms of what it feels like instead of ideas. Aquarius is very much about, I'm thinking outside of the box, and it's about the intellect and things that are abstract and that can be translated into something that other people can read, or it can be an invention or a thing or whatever. But Pisces is very much about connecting with this sense of I belong in this universe, I feel loved, I feel at peace. So it becomes a much more personal process on Friday now, deepening your emotions, making them more difficult to manage, but also giving you that spiritual perspective that it's okay to feel certain things. So you're not as, So on Friday, the Pisces moon conjuncts Neptune in Pisces. Neptune rules Pisces, so you're on a little spiritual bliss wave here. It squares the sun in Sagittarius and sextiles Uranus in Taurus. Wow. So you want to make changes and you want to keep going, but you don't really want anything to change. So you're at odds with yourself on Friday. The sense of optimism is dampened on Friday, the 10th of December, by the nebulous energy of Neptune. And you may feel torn between your need to be creative and to do something inspiring and new, and to feel your feelings or to escape into some distraction. So again, if you write or you paint or you design, that's great to engage with those kind of things. But to sit there and to ruminate endlessly about some sort of negative thing that's going on in your life, don't waste your time on that. Pick a distraction, discover something new that's going to lift those feelings. So escape into something healthy and productive and good, either into some new experience or into being creative. Don't circle round and round and round and try and figure something out intellectually, and try and have faith and use that spiritual perspective to say, this is fine. I don't need to figure everything out in the here and now. On Saturday, the 11th of December, we've got a lot going on in terms of the relationships the planets make with one another. So Saturday is going to feel really full on. And it's the last of this energy before you shift into something else on Sunday. So on Saturday the 11th, we've got the Pisces moon forming a square with Mercury in Sagittarius. Again, that conflict of do I run off or do I stay here? It sextiles Venus and Pluto in Capricorn. That gives you the creative ability. The Pisces moon trines Mars in Scorpio. So your feelings are now multifaceted. It's not just the deep and dark stuff, it's also the light stuff that's transformative and that can help you out and that feels supportive. Venus in Capricorn conjuncts Pluto in Capricorn, so you really want to make some big changes now. Mercury in Sagittarius sextiles Jupiter in Aquarius, so your ideas are huge and you want to run off. It's like your ideas are burning your feet a little bit and you just want to gallop off and do something about them. The moon enters Aries at 10:46 in the evening, so the moon now moves into a fire sign. That's all about taking charge and going for it. So the pace the pace really picks up here at the end of the day. And then the sun in Sagittarius squares Neptune and Pisces. So we've got fire and water. Do you rush off? Do you go? Do you make changes? Or do you go within, get creative? And depending on who you are, there's no right or wrong. It's whatever feels right for you in that moment. But ultimately, it's either those two things or sitting there and ruminating. And if you're choosing ruminating, then pick something else. So on Saturday, you may want to make some huge changes based on your feelings. And if you're then asked for a reason by someone else, you may find it difficult to come up with a genuine answer because you're so feeling oriented that it's just like, I've got to go. But it's like, have you thought about this? Have you planned it out? If you find yourself planning something big, ask yourself what it's really about and whether it's about escaping rather than facing your true feelings. You know, the thing about it is there isn't anything, often like when someone says feel your feelings and look within, it's like, well, I don't want to have all these skeletons in the closet fall out at me. But that's, in my experience, that's not really true. If you start to look at what you're about, there isn't some sort of hidden boogeyman waiting for you to try and get you. It's just, I think it's the ego trying to put you off from doing inner work by saying, caution, caution, you might get, upset or sucked into this and you'll never find a way out. But it's not true. You need to look at yourself once in a while and just keep up. It's like I got this from somewhere else. I don't know if it is the 12 steps, but it's like doing an inventory of a business. I think it is 12 steps. You need to check what stock is in the shop, if you're going to keep doing business. And it's the same thing with yourself. The more you check in with yourself and see what you're all about, the less daunting it is. It's not like some dark cave you have to go in, it's you. So facing your feelings and doing the work of this week by unearthing stuff you no longer need and getting rid of it, that's the way forward. Finally, Sunday, the 12th of December, we've got the sun in Sagittarius still forming a square with Neptune and Pisces. The Aries moon conjunct Chiron in Aries and it sextiles Saturn in Aquarius. So you feel like you're on team you. Other people are also on your team, on your side. You don't feel isolated. You don't feel overly emotional. You're interested in getting things done in a real world sense. So you really shift gears on Sunday, the 12th of December, and you're not so focused on what has happened in the past or what could have been. You're much more interested in building something new for yourself and stepping into your own power. And stepping into your own power is going to be much easier if you've done the emotional work earlier on in the week so that you can really feel lighter and just get going. Get the ballast off your back. You know, the extra weights. Get rid of them. So you can breathe. Feel free and skip along. Exactly. So it's an interesting week. Yeah, I found the last couple of weeks very surprising in major opposites happening, like major highs and lows. And it's certainly not a dull time where nothing's going on. There's a lot that you can look at and transform, and there's a lot of good stuff that you can just receive and enjoy. It's fabulous. So it's pretty, the pace is really good at the moment. So I hope that gives you an idea of the coming week. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to order your reading with me. In my personal readings, I use astrology, tarot, and numerology. I combine all of them to give you a really precise overview of what I see for you. Your birth chart I draw up by using your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. Once I have that info, I get a snapshot of the sky at the moment you were born. And if you have any questions about your personality type, your talents, your life purpose, work, relationships, money, moving, anything at all, spiritual development, then please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. Also, if you want to have a look at what's coming up in future, I look at the progress chart, the transits, and also moving and areas that are going to influence you in specific ways. I use the astrocartography for that. So if you'd like me to have a look at your chart, then please do get in touch. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have an amazing week. Check out some of my other videos, the daily tarot readings, the special videos on things like the solar eclipse that we had recently on the 4th of December last week, full moon, new moon. Yeah, have a look at some of the other videos. Have an amazing week, and I'll speak to you soon. All the best.